Hi, Democrats. Today is Tuesday, August 9th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Tuesday. So, first and foremost, I need to clear something up. There's been rumors going around, and I want to make sure that I clear it up. And I hate to address rumors, except it's just, blatantly wrong and kind of dangerous to our reputation. So there's been some talk about ODP returning to our old habit of not paying our bills and not being up on our ethics filings. ODP continues to pay our bills, and we are completely up to date with our state ethics filings on guardian.gov, and we're up to date with our federal filings on the fec.gov. I want to just say that and be clear, because some rumors are getting back that we are not, but we are. And why I'm addressing this in this forum seems a little bit strange, but this is how I get to the most amount of people. We've worked really hard over the last 3 years to not only get set up in filing, but filing properly and paying our bills like we're supposed to. I don't want any rumors, particularly as we lead up to this election, to say that we aren't where we need to be. I can't say that for all of the recognized parties in our state, but I can say it for the Democratic Party. We are up to date. Okay, get that out of the way. Hi, Mary. All right, so we're up to date. We're obeying the law, but I have a big question. What the heck is on? Our governor is suing Class Wallet for failing to do what we were supposed to do, and that's keeping people from buying Christmas trees and lawnmowers with the money that was supposed to be used for helping people get through the educational process through COVID. He's suing Class Wallet as a distraction because in state we didn't do what we were supposed to do. Now he's being sued by the 2 veterans that he let go because they supported someone else politically. That's why he let them go. They supported someone else politically, and so he let them go. They are suing him. And Danielle Lanier, the president of the Federation of Democrats, will be joining us tomorrow. Federation of Democratic Veterans will be joining us tomorrow to talk about that, because I like to invite the experts. But the governor is being sued. He's being sued right now. One of the candidates for Labor Commission has had 5 Republican women, and it's a Republican candidate, 5 Republican women, Democrats are not involved, 5 Republican women have come to say, don't run. You're not qualified to run. You beat your wife. I didn't say it. They're saying it. There are allegations that he beat his wife. You guys have seen it. The police report is out there. And so 5 Republican legislators have come out and asked him to please step down. Basically, conduct unbecoming. Governor being sued, labor commissioner candidate being asked to step down behind allegations that he beats his wife. And then the last president, whose name I'm going to choose not to say today, had his residence raided yesterday. And I don't want to call it raided. They showed up yesterday with a warrant to search. So it wasn't like a sneak attack, because they had to coordinate with the Secret Service and there was a warrant. And so it wasn't like somebody got a wild hair yesterday morning and just showed up. There was a plan. It was legal. And because they knew they were going to be scrutinized out the wazoo, I am sure that they checked all the boxes. However, we all know that the last president took documents from the White House he wasn't supposed to take. We all know that. That is a foregone conclusion. That happened. He was asked to return them. We all know that too, because he talked about it on his little super secret social media channel. It's in the Constitution that there are certain documents, funny Carrie Smith, that there are certain documents that aren't supposed to leave the care of the United States government. And there's a suspicion that those documents are hanging out at Mar-a-Lago. We've seen the boxes. They were asked to be returned. They haven't been returned. And so they had to do a subpoena to say, go ahead and give us the documents. They suspect the documents are at Mar-a-Lago. They went to Mar-a-Lago to look for them. I'm trying to say everything that I can say legally, right? So that's what's going on. What the heck is with all the freaking lawlessness on that side? And now I want to say something about the president, the last president. He took junk he wasn't supposed to take. There's a suspicion that he was flushing stuff down the toilets. And if you guys will remember, in the first year or so, and in the second year or so, around the first impeachment, there was all this talk about how the plumbing at the White House wasn't good and it didn't flush. You had to flush twice for it to flush. And so now there's a suspicion that he was flushing documents. And we have all of these politicians in Oklahoma who are aligning themselves with that guy. The guy who has the boxes that we've seen. They're aligning themselves with him. They're saying, I'm going to be just like him. Please, please vote for me because I'm going to be just like him. Him that had his house raided yesterday after they asked him just to return it. So I actually watched Fox News for over an hour yesterday because I wanted to hear what they were saying. Now, this is the same party who is trying to control women's bodies, but they were talking about government overreach. Oh my word. They were talking about how this is the FBI has been weaponized. James Comey, anyone? It's amazing. So they're aligning themselves with this guy who's been impeached twice and now has had to be served by the FBI. That's who they want to be like. To quote the former guy, I like candidates who haven't been searched by the FBI. And so I want to remind you of who we have. We currently have James Lankford. He's on the ballot. On August 23rd, you have a choice to pick which one of our qualified candidates, both qualified candidates, pick one of them to run against Lankford, to replace Lankford. So we have Madison Horn and Jason Bollinger. They're going to be on your ballot on August 23rd. They're going to be on your ballot. Every Oklahoman is going to have a ballot that's going to have those two people on it. So if you're tired of going to the polls and finding out that you don't have anything to vote for, that's not a problem on August 23rd. We get to pick who replaces Lankford. It only works if we show up to vote. It only works if we show up to vote and we make sure that everybody we know shows up to vote. August 23rd. 2 weeks from today. All right. So we have Lankford, but we have Madison Horn and Jason Bollinger. We have Kendra Horn running to fill the seat that Inhofe is leaving open. We have Joy Hoffmeister running to get rid of corrupt Kevin. We have Melinda Elizadeh Fard running for lieutenant governor. You remember the guy who is alleged to be beating his wife? We have a candidate running against him as well, and that is Jack Henderson. We have a TU law professor who teaches water and energy law, which is what the Corporation Commission does, running for Corporation Commissioner. We have a CPA running for state treasurer. We have qualified candidates. We have a candidate in every congressional district running. We have qualified candidates. They need your vote. They need your support. They need you to learn who they are and start talking about them. They need you to know who they are. And I'm telling you, it's not that hard. I want to make sure I said everybody. Gina Nelson, Superintendent of Public Instruction. 2020 Teacher of the Year. Regularly flies to DC and works with the United States Department of Education, Cardona. So she can bring back national information that will help us. We have qualified candidates, and these candidates are everywhere. They're everywhere. There are events all over the calendar that I'm missing because I'm sick, but there are events where you can go and hear from them, learn about these candidates, and tell people about these candidates. We have got to show up. We've got to show up. You're going to hear me say this a whole lot more between now and November 8th. We got to show up. We got to show up. We got to show up. And on top of showing up and learning who they are, show up and sign up to support them. Drop literature, drive them while they drop literature, share their social media, donate money, write postcards, do phone banks. They need help, all of that. As we get closer to the election, they're going to need help putting out signs. They need help with all of that. And yes, Langford voted against the burn pits. Langford voted against capping insulin. It's not a hard choice, guys. It really isn't. It really isn't. And for those of you who say, I don't want to vote against someone, I used to be that person. I used to say, I want to vote for somebody. I don't want to. Well, we actually have people to vote for this time. But we also have people to vote against. We have a governor who is involved in so many scandals, in so much waste of Oklahoma taxpayer dollars, that he is worth voting against. He is. I know that's not what you learned in political science, but he is worth voting against. We have a guy who says 13-year-olds are ready for sex. I don't care how much you pay for your insulin, and veterans, schmetterans. That guy is in office and he's on the ballot. He's running against. He is worth voting against. But it doesn't have to be just voting against, because we have qualified good candidates that you can vote for. Everybody must show up. And if you're thinking, well, I just never got around to registering to vote. Register to vote. It ain't that hard. It really isn't. You actually can go online, fill out all the information. They will send you the form. You sign it, mail it back for free, and they mail you a card. Or you can just go to your county election board or your county Democratic Party. Make sure everybody you know is registered to vote. And then I think I'm going to be asking you from this point forward, what did you do today to protect our democracy? What did you do today to protect our democracy? That's your homework. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you back tomorrow at 4:15.